Hello everyone, welcome to my video. My name is Humaira Nabila. In this video, I will tell you about optical instrument that related to integrated science. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. And for the first material, I will tell you about what is the optical instrument. An optical instrument is a device that processes light waves, either to exchange an image for viewing or to analyze and determine their characteristic properties. The common example of optical instrument is our eyes, microscope, telescope, and camera. The most familiar and widely used optical uses is the lens. A lens is an optical system with two refracting surfaces. There are two types of lens. The first is concave lens and the second is convex lens. A concave lens is thicker at the edges than it is in the middle. A concave lens causes rays of light to diverge or spread apart as they pass through it. A convex lens is thicker in the middle than at the edges. This causes rays of light to converge. And we can calculate the magnification of lens by using this formula that we get from calculation of mathematical derivative. The formula is m for magnification equals to hi, height of the image over ho, height of the object equals to si, the distance of the image measured from the center of the lens, over SO, the distance of the object measured from the center of the lens. And the result of the magnification should be in a positive. Then, lenses are very useful for everyday life. Here are some examples. The first is Fresnel lens, a succession of concentric rings, each consisting of an element of a simple lens, assembled in a proper relationship on a flat surface to provide a short focal length. The Fresnel lens is used particularly in lighthouse and searchlights to concentrate the light into a relatively narrow beam. The second is contact lens. Contact lens is a thin plastic lens placed directly on the surface of the eyes to correct visual defects and can be used to replace glasses. And for the next, I will tell you about eyes. The eyes are specialized sense organs capable of receiving visual images which are then carried to the brain. And for the first, I will tell you about the human eyes. We can see something with our eyes because there is a process through which light reflected from objects in our environment is translated into a mental image. This process can be divided into three steps. First, light that enters the eyes is regulated by the pupil, and the lens focuses the light on the retina. Photoreceptor of the retina transduces light energy into an electrical signal. Then, neural pathways from the retina to the brain process electrical signals into visual image. Sometimes our eyes have a problem. The first problem is myopia. Myopia occurs when the focal points fall in front of the retina. In order to be able to see objects that are far away, people with myopic eyes should use a concave lens, glasses. The myopia is caused by eye is too long or the cornea too sharply curved. Then we can calculate lens strength for myopia. The formula is P for lens power in dioptries equals to minus 100 over PR. PR is the far point in centimeter. The second problem is hyperopia. Hyperopia is the reversible of the myopia. Hyperopia occurs when the focal point falls behind the retina. And the people with hyperopia, they can see the near object. And to see the near object, people with hyperopia should use a convex lens glasses. The hyperopia is caused by the eye is too short or the cornea not curved enough. Then how to calculate the lens strength for hyperopia is using this formula. P is lens power in dioptries equals to 4 minus 100 over Sn. Sn is the near point in centimeter. The next eye problem is presbyopia. Presbyopia is the gradual loss of your eye's ability to focus on nearby objects. Presbyopia usually becomes noticeable in people in older age. And the last is astigmatism, is a type of refractive errors in which the eye does not focus like evenly on the retina. It results in distorted or blurred vision at any distance. And for the next topic, I will tell you about the animal eyes. The animal eyes is a little bit different from human eyes because in each animal has its own eyes characteristic that match its habitat. The example is the eyes of red-eyed throat. It have a third eyelid to keep their eyes always clean, and the ground hornbill is have a long eyelash, and the cuttlefish is have W-shaped pupils. And there are the technology that related into our eyes. The first is LASIK surgery or laser vision correction. It's a type of refractive surgery for the correction of myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism. And for the next technology is virtual reality. Is a computer-generated simulation in which a person can interact with an artificial three-dimensional environment using electronic devices such as a special goggles with a screen. The next optical instrument is camera. The camera makes a small image of an object and records the image on film. The film can then be used as an object by a projector, which casts a large image on a screen. There are some similarities in camera and our eyes. First, they have a convex lens. Then, the properties of the image produced by the lens and our eyes is same, namely real, inverted, and reduced. Only the eye has grainer that change the image produced. Then, both have a place where the image falls. In the eyes, the image falls on the retina, while in the camera, the image falls on the film plate. And both have a regulator of incoming light. In the eyes is the pupil, while the camera uses a diaphragma. And for the next, I will tell you about the camera that didn't have a lens. The name is a pinhole camera. A pinhole camera is a simple camera without a lens but with a tiny aperture called a pinhole, effectively of a light-proof box with a small hole in one side. Light from a scene passes through the aperture and projects an inverted image on the opposite side of the box, which is known as the camera obscura effect. Then the third optical instrument is microscope. Microscope is an optical instrument used to see the objects that are too small to be seen by our naked eyes. A microscope consists of an arrangement of two convex lenses. The first convex lens is near the object, that called objective lens, and the second convex lens is near our eyes, is called the ocular lens. And the microscope is used by researchers to see cells which measures 1 to 100 micrometers and electrons which measures 2 nanometers. Then with this formula we can calculate the magnification of the microscope. The formula is magnification equals to objective magnification times ocular magnification. And the next optical instrument is telescope. A telescope is an optical instrument using lenses, curved mirror, or a combination of both to observe distant objects, or various devices used to observe distant objects by their emission, absorption, or reflection of electromagnetic radiation. And so, with the telescope, we can see the far objects such as stars in our space. Then I will tell you about Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble Space Telescope was found by Edwin Hubble in 1983. Hubble Space Telescope is the first major optical telescope to be placed in space. Hubble has an unobstructed view of the universe, and scientists use Hubble telescope to observe the most distant stars and galaxies as well as the planets in our solar system. So that's all my video about optical instrument that related into integrated science. I hope you liked my video. Thank you and see you again.